Good evening and welcome back to live flight action down here at East Midlands Airport. We've changed location this evening, moved a bit further down the airfield for a better look at the arrivals and departures. So a bit of a change to our normal location, but hopefully a bit more of a detailed view of the passenger terminal over there, the other side of the airfield, and still a good view of the cargo area. But first arrival this evening is the Learjet 777 in from Delhi. It's just making its way down now. It's another cold evening down at East Midlands Airport this Tuesday. Just bear with us while we get a few more things set up. Hi Sam, welcome back. So we'll keep on that 777 as it makes its way to its stand. You can really smell the rubber from those tyres this side of the airfield. So hopefully that's a bit of a better view on this evening's stream, especially that 777 inbound from Delhi. Just slightly darker over this side of the airfield, so the do apologise if the image looks a bit darker than our usual streams. Yeah, fence post just getting away as well, but hopefully we should see the majority of that 777 as it enters its stand there. Get a view of the opposite side of the aircraft as it's unloaded and loaded back up tonight as well. So there you go, that 777 just going to a stop on its stand there. So thank you to everybody who's joined us so far on this evening stream. That 777 in there, as I say, from Delhi. Just disappearing off the radar as it touched down. So you can find any information on that one. Flight time of just under 9 hours and 10 minutes, 9 hours 9 minutes on this evening's flight over from Delhi. Landing just after 25 past 5. That one is back out later on this evening to Brussels. It originated in Hong Kong, routed over to Delhi, and then from Delhi into East Midlands. So Sam, we're just over the opposite side of the airfield towards Castle Donington this evening. Now we'll just pan around, take off that 777, just a couple of minutes, and give you a view of the airfield. As you can see the main passenger terminal over there. And going down to the UPS buildings at the opposite end of the airfield. FedEx looks like one of the ATRs on stand, and then the 747 just behind that post there. So we'll see if we can get a better shot of that if we just move the tripod over ever so slightly. Apologies for any motion. Set it back down now. There you go, that 747 on its stand there. And just bear with us while you readjust the tripod to get back into a stable position. There we go, a bit of adjustment. Hopefully we're all back in level again. So let's pan across back to that 777. Tripod fixed in position as well. Just make some final tweaks. Oh, do apologise. There we go. Should be stable enough now. So the Aerologic 777 there, and next to it is the DHL 767 on stand. So let's check that radar and see what movements we have this evening. So we should be seeing the DHL 767 inbound from JFK in the next 20 minutes or so, followed by services in from Cardiff operated by a Uni Air, looks like Learjet 45, and Jet 2 service in from Gran Canaria. So they're imminent arrivals. Departures, a bit light on departures again this evening. Jet 2 service looks like it's positioning back down to Birmingham. It's operated by 737. And then in the next hour or so, we should see the DHL 767 after Brussels, followed by the Aerologic as it makes its way over to Brussels as well. And then services again back out to Cologne, operated by that Learjet. And the cargo jet to Cincinnati. Just before around 20 to 9 this evening. So doesn't look like any delays to earlier services. There's some delays later on this evening, or flights during the stream, just short delays. Looks like around 20 minutes or so. Just pan across to that 777 and keep an eye on it as it is unloaded this evening. Yeah, I think there's a few on the radar tonight that are scheduled. Doesn't look like they're pinging up yet, but they're relatively. Well, the Shannon one I think is a relatively short flight, so probably ping up later on in the stream. The ground crew just making some preliminary checks there on arrival. Looks like they're getting in position now to open up those cargo doors. We'll keep fixed on this end of the airfield for the time being and keep an eye out on those arrivals. But thanks to everybody who's joining us so far this evening. And hello Jeffrey, welcome back to East Midlands again. So hopefully the picture is still coming through clear from this side of the airfield. We just have have the fence in between us and no real vantage point to peer over that. Should hopefully have some form of solution for that in the coming days. We'll keep you posted. But for the time being, we're just keeping do with the or making do with the space that we have available to us here on the ground. Just keeping back from the perimeter fence. Quite a distance away to distance ourselves between the airfield and the equipment. But hopefully we'll catch more of those arrivals, close-up arrivals, as well, opposed to having that distance between us and the arriving aircraft. You get quite a nice close-up view, like we had on the 777 as it arrived in just a few moments ago at the start of the stream. So, arriving and departing aircraft activity relatively low again this time of the evening. We just started the stream to catch that 777 as it arrived in. Starting a bit earlier as well, just to get that one in this evening. And hopefully we'll see that one out by the end of the stream as well. We'll keep an eye on the time and the temperature down here at East Midlands this evening. It's relatively warm in comparison to our previous couple of streams, and we're slightly more sheltered here from the wind and the road noise, so making it a more quieter and a bit more sheltered environment. We're still open to the elements, though no overhead shelter here. But the rain looks like it's keeping off, and that cloud base is relatively high this evening. So we should get a good shot of those arriving aircraft as they make their way down onto runway 27. So, as usual, please feel free to share the stream. More people, the merrier, watching the action from down here at East Midlands this evening. And we're really pleased as well to see how well the streams have been taken, especially by you guys in the chat. Thank you very much for joining us this evening, and on previous streams as well. I hope you're enjoying the action down here at East Midlands as and when it does happen. Thank you for helping build the channel. We're fast approaching our first 1,000 subscribers now. I would hope to hit that in the next few weeks. We're also going to look at scheduling some streams in during the day opposed to the evenings, just to have a look at the airport activity during the day, and hopefully offer a bit more variance on the stream. I know people find it difficult sometimes to catch up with these evening slots, so we'll have a look at the arriving and departing aircraft over the next few weeks and see when we can tailor the streams to fit in some daytime streams. It will be predominantly Fridays and into the weekend. I know the traffic is still relatively light, however, if there are any special movements, I think we had the one after JFK a few days ago, so any more events like that, we'll try our best to get down here and capture them, or at least put some shorts up for everybody to enjoy. So that one just been unloaded, not one sorry, Aerologic 777 just been unloaded now. One eye because I can see the one eye down the other end of the field. Aerologic just been unloaded from its inbound journey to East Midlands this evening, arriving in from Delhi just at the start of the stream, and that one is scheduled back out to Brussels this evening. And thank you, Jeffrey. That's really good to hear. We're hoping to offer something a bit different to our streams by showing the more of the operations side, especially over at the cargo terminal there, the DHL area of the airfield. So whilst that Aerologic is just being unloaded, we'll have a quick pan around just to see what's in front of us. Apologies for any motion blur while we pan around. So the usual traffic across on the apron there at Ryanair's. I'm not sure if Ryanair have any scheduled flights today. I think there was one in from Shannon a while ago. But relatively quiet day for Ryanair in East Midlands. The usual Jet 2 737s, a lot of 737s operating out of East Midlands, very Boeing heavy airfield. The Chewy 737 in the background there. And of course just behind the Chewy is the control tower East Midlands. It's just out of sight. Looks like it's covered by a bit of low cloud or mist. And then additional stands just to the right there. And then further over the airfield as we move towards the DHL apron. More maintenance sheds, the flying school behind there, and the sheds where a number of aircraft do get repainted. We've had a number of Embraers recently, Lufthansa, British Airways, etc. Actually, the British Airways Embraers are just scheduled flights in terms of bringing in various different football teams. I know British Airways have operated a number of flights last year, bringing football teams back into East Midlands, so they may just be charter aircraft, but I know Lufthansa have repainted a number of theirs here at East Midlands into the Air Dolomiti livery, which is a subsidiary of Lufthansa in itself. Looks like they're changing most of their aircraft from the Lufthansa city livery into the Air Dolomiti livery. So hopefully that gives you just a quick overview of the airfield this evening and the activity that's around. So next inbound aircraft looks like it is the Cargojet 767 in from Cincinnati this evening. Flight time of around 6 hours and 37 minutes by the time it touches down at East Midlands. So we'll pan around quickly and catch that one arriving. It should be appearing in the top of the screens any minute now, just gradually making its way down to runway 27. Hopefully so. Anyway, I can definitely see it off camera. See if you can track it and point a bit further up. Should be making its way onto the screen any minute. There we go, just approaching the threshold for 27. Cargo jet 767 in from Cincinnati. Vacating now from runway 27 over to its stand. Just keeping an eye on the next inbound aircraft as well. We'll just pan across and catch the arrival of that DHL service. DHL inbound from JFK this evening. Slightly more difficult to pan across in the dark over this side of the airfield. Flight time of just over 5 hours and 55 minutes at point of touchdown onto runway 27 this evening. vacating the runway just a little earlier than the cargo jet. Focus of that one into the dark. So the Learjet 777 still in front of us. That's 767 inbound from JFK, making its way a bit further down the apron towards its stand. Let's see if I can keep track of that one. Cargo jet 767 just on stand there in the distance. Next inbound aircraft to arrive into East Midlands this evening is the Jet 2 service in from Gran Canaria. Flight time of around 3 hours and 42 minutes. At the point of arrival, swing back around and catch that Jet 2 service as it approaches runway 27 now. Disappearing behind the post there. We'll just stick with that jet suit as it makes its way onto its stand. Should turn any time soon now. Let's see whereabouts that one ends up. They've been relatively full this evening with all those Ryanair 737s. You're just turning straight towards us now. If we lock off there, hopefully we'll get a good view of that one disembarking as well. Now we haven't got night vision. Dino just got a higher ISO setting on the camera to pick up all of that light. Do you have the ability for night vision on another setup? But not something I want to try down here at the airport. So thank you to everybody who's joining us down at East Midlands this evening. Thank you to everybody in the chat. It's good to see you all again. Just catching up as we caught those 3 arrivals into East Midlands. First one was that cargo jet 767 in from Cincinnati, followed by the DHL 767 in from JFK. And the Jet 2 straight in front of us in from Gran Canaria this evening. So just waiting for that aircraft to open its doors now. See if we have any more focal length on the camera. There we go, just moving ever so closer in. Hopefully the image is still coming across clear. Doing our best in the relatively low light conditions over the side of the airfield. The lights in front of us just aiding us a bit. improve that focus ever so slightly as well. I'm not sure if you can pick that up just overhead the Emirates A380 as it makes its way into Manchester this evening. Just passing through 16,500 feet now. Tracking straight overhead Derby, Ashbourne, Macclesfield and into Manchester this evening. The Jet 2 though in front of us, we'll keep focused on that as we await for those doors to be opened. The ground crew just making their way up the stairs now. And good evening to you, Deborah. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. And to you also, Malcolm, thanks for letting us know about that image quality. Good to hear it's coming over clear. So that service in from Gran Canaria just beginning to disembark now. Looks like the forward door is the only one in use at the minute. Stairs are to the rear. Looks like the majority of the passengers are going to be disembarking by the forward door there. So hopefully just something a bit different to the cargo action here at East Midlands Airport that we usually feature on the streams. Moving a bit further down the airfield this evening for everybody who's just joining us. We're usually located, or have been located, towards the DHL apron, which is just to our left, or to the left of that aircraft, to our right, the other side of the airfield, getting a good view of the cargo ops here at East Midlands. We've just moved slightly further down the airfield to a new location, just to give a bit of variety and to see what other action we can pick up on the streams. You can see in front of us, we get quite a good view of the passenger terminal here at East Midlands. Not the terminal in its entirety, just the forward of those stands. So we can't see into anywhere in any detail, but able to capture all the aircraft as they arrive and depart on that stand, or that apron should I say. So I'll try best to keep a level image this evening. The ground is just a bit more unstable than where we usually stream from. So apologies if there is any slight tilt to the image. Light just dropping as we were setting up the stream, so a bit difficult to find our footing and get the tripod set up exactly how we like to, but hopefully it will suffice for the majority of the stream. We've still got full manual control over the pan and tilt, so I'll make adjustments as necessary. Hopefully the image is stable enough for everybody watching this evening. So that cargo jet service in from Cincinnati arriving about 50 minutes ahead of schedule this evening. and just a few delays to services that we can see on the radar. That Uni Air Learjet just sneaking in as we watch that Jet 2 onto its stand. The Maersk Air in from Shannon, delayed by a couple of hours this evening. Not due to see that one until just before 8:15. The RVL service in from the Isle of Man, a regular service on the stream, that is due in just before 7:05. Jet 2 service in from Tenerife, delayed by about 40 minutes. That was due in at 7:05, now due in just after 7:45. However, it looks like a couple of the other services, the Jet 2 services in from Fuerteventura, Lanzarote and Tenerife, are either running on time or just ahead of schedule. We should see the Fuerteventura service just after 7 p.m, followed by the Lanzarote service just before 8:20, and then the Tenerife service at about 8:05. That one is currently on schedule. The other two being ahead of their schedules this evening. The UPS 767 also running ahead of schedule, due in just before 8:05. So another couple of hours until those aircraft arrive with us at East Midlands this evening. In terms of departures, just waiting for that radar to load up. We've got the Jet 2 service repositioning back down to Birmingham at about 7:10. DHL service across to Brussels, operated by 767, is due out in the next 40 minutes or so. The Aerologic service also over to Brussels, operated by that earlier arriving 777. Just after 7:30, we should see that one start to push back and make its way down to 7 to depart over to Brussels this evening. That Uni Air Learjet also departing at just gone 8 o'clock, around 8:10, and the cargo jet service back off to Cincinnati at around 8:40. So we'll keep an eye on those scheduled arrivals and departures. Looks like that Jet 2 service here from Gran Canaria has now completed disembarking. All those passengers being bussed over to the terminal. Let's have a look on any details of that particular 737. So not many flights in the past week or so for that particular aircraft. And not many that have shown up on the radar anyway. Looks like it was last inbound to Nottingham on the 19th of January. So look at that aircraft info. A particular flight we're just looking at there in terms of aircraft movements. It's been quite busy over the past few days. But again, nothing since the 19th. So it looks like today is its first scheduled services. That being out to Gran Canaria this morning. And also its return journey from Gran Canaria to East Midlands this evening. And that particular aircraft is scheduled back out to Birmingham. So thanks to everybody who's joining us this evening, especially everybody in the chat. Just catching up with those comments now, so apologies that I'm a bit absent in the chat. Just a lot to keep an eye on, especially in the dark. Footings, in terms of not trying to catch it on the tripod and trying to keep everything in perspective. Just a lot of equipment to juggle, so apologies if I am a bit absent, but just catching up as and when I can, operating solo out here. But hey, stop. Good evening to you. My name's Tom. Live flight action has been going for about a year on and off. So we're in the process of setting up live flight action for about a year, maybe a couple of years, and trying to get something going down here at East Midlands Airport. So getting all the equipment right, everything set up right, and making sure that we can bring the best possible quality to our streams, as well as the best knowledge and information to everybody who's watching. So thank you to everybody, and those last few comments on the chat, especially, gives us a good chance to catch up with you all with this little of traffic as well. Thank you, Deborah. Hopefully it gives you a bit of perspective to who I am, person behind the camera. And just to give you, sorry, just keeping an eye on the camera there, somebody passed in front of us. Just to give you a bit of an overview as well. So we've been down here at East Midlands, not filming, but regular user of, flying in and out of, as well as using the flight school down here at East Midlands for about 15 or 16 years now. So know the airfield relatively well, every good spotting spot. But really over the past few years, watching a lot of the other streamers up and down the country, Manchester, Heathrow, Glasgow, as well as others across the world. Really just trying to fine-tune our setup and tailor our stream to the particular aviation enthusiast audience as well. Not everybody fits that category. Everybody is welcome. Don't have to be an aviation enthusiast. Just anybody with an interest or anybody stopping by to watch the streams. Everybody's welcome. Just want to make it a very warm and inviting environment. A bit warmer than I currently am at the minute out here filming for you guys. But hopefully just a nice, relaxed, chill chat stream. I know there's not a lot of action down here at East Midlands at the minute, particularly in the evenings, but hopefully it gives everybody a better perspective of those night operations. I know a lot of people don't tend to see the airfield from afar. We have the airport just a couple hundred metres or so, or the end of the airport just a couple hundred metres or so from us, which is a great vantage point for everybody to go and see. We'll speak more of that in the next few weeks, hopefully, or next few days and weeks, hopefully. But really, just bringing East Midlands online to showcase to everybody the different types of movements here, different varieties of aircraft, especially the cargo operations, the DHL side, and also the growing cargo operations at the other end of the field, now with the introduction of One Air and numerous 747s. There's also a variety in cargo aircraft, private business aircraft, as well as commercial services operating for the UK National Police Force. They operate out of East Midlands as well. We used to have the air ambulance operating out of East Midlands, but I believe they relocated to another location a couple of years ago. The air ambulance was a regular daily inbound and outbound service, travelling all over the county, Nottinghamshire, Derbyshire and Leicestershire. But that aircraft and team have moved further afield now. They used to operate just behind the maintenance sheds from a small cabin there. But I believe that area, or particular area, is now home to the UK National Police Air Force. Police Air Force? Police Force with Vulcan Air. That again travels up and down the country, assisting with all of the UK police operations, giving aerial support to police officers and other services on the ground. You regularly see that one making a good 2 or 3 hour duration trips from here at East Midlands, all the way down south to all the way up north. Usually circles for a good hour or so, depending on the assistance it's providing, before returning to here at East Midlands. So hopefully that gives you just a brief overview of me and of live flight action. Hoping to grow the channel to bring a lot more viewers on board, not a lot more attention to East Midlands in terms of foot traffic, but hopefully everybody can join in with the streams, especially in this colder weather that we're experiencing at the minute. Especially those darker nights as well, but hopefully as those nights do draw out, we'll be able to bring you a lot more live coverage from here at East Midlands. So it looks like the crew have departed from that Jet 2 service there. We're definitely sticking around towards the flight deck. That last bus just moving off. So we'll take a quick pan across back over to that DHL apron now, and just have a look at the cargo operations that are happening this evening down here at East Midlands. So if you do have any further questions for me, do drop them into the chat, and I'll pick up on them as soon as I can. Just get that tripod adjusted back over, try and give a level picture, so apologies for any jitteriness there. So the cargo just being unloaded from the upper deck of the 777 there. So operations in full swing to offload that earlier inbound 777 in from Delhi. We'll just pan around if we can, take a look at those inbound services from JFK and Cincinnati. Way down the other end of the airfield. That inbound service from JFK, looks like the majority of that cargo is now offloaded, and the inbound cargo jet service from Cincinnati still offloading that one. Yeah, Andy, we're usually towards the racetrack end of the airfield. Just probably a couple hundred metres from where that cargo jet 767 is in front of us now. Just to get a good vantage point of the whole airfield, really. We've moved further down just to look at some of those passenger services that we don't usually get to see on the stream. So hopefully giving everybody a good perspective and a bit of a variety, as opposed to watching those cargo aircraft being unloaded and reloaded. And yeah, we can only hope about getting a van in the future. There's not a lot of locations around East Midlands to actually park up. A lot of the roads are what they call red routes now, so enforceable parking measures by fines, which most of the airport is now. The only place to park up is the Aeropark and Deesworth Road as well. Again, part of that road is affected by security measures at East Midlands, so we may see the airfield ops teams coming round every now and again during the stream. They don't like people to be too close to those emergency gates, so if you do make your way down to East Midlands using Deesworth Road for any parking, do make sure just to stay vigilant of all the signs that are around and obey those signs as well. There is free parking available, I think in long stay too. I'm not sure if you still get 2 hours free parking, but the shuttle bus does operate around the airport quite frequently as well. So if anybody is considering coming down here just for a short time, you can still park in I think long stay 2 car park for a short time. And thanks for dropping by, Dino, and we'll see you in the next stream, hopefully. But yeah, in terms of spotting locations at East Midlands, there are a few high points where you can get a good vantage point from, the one being at the end of the runway closest to the racetrack. But do be aware of the parking restrictions along that particular stretch of road around the airport. There aren't any available facilities for parking there. You can park on a slip road, but just be very cautious if you do so. There are no parking signs there, so it all depends on the amount of risk you want to take. But alternatively, there are a number of other spots, including at the airport itself, where you can park up free of charge. So just try and move that tripod over a bit if we can, just to take a bit of that tilt off the image. Bring it back hopefully straight and level. Yeah, Andy, that's a good point. You can park down at the Amazon end still. There is a signposted spot in place down there. Parking can be limited, it can get quite tight, so just be cautious if you do come in at more popular times of the day, but generally early evening, early morning, it is quiet. There's a picnic area as well, number of picnic tables down there, and you can still walk down the end of the airfield. A number of years ago, before they built the park and go, I think that's what it's called, an area, or drop and go for your cars, where they park all of everybody's cars if they drop them off at the terminal, and let somebody else have the pleasure of parking them for you. They built an extension down there and took away most of the green land down there, turned it into a car park, so it's no longer possible to go the full length of the runway down that end, but from this spotting area just off the dual carriageway, you can still park up there and walk across the or behind the threshold of the runway. Going further that way as well towards the airport, if you are parking up, there is a mound over that other side as well, where they built a number of the newer hotels, shifted some of that earth over. That is a good vantage point as well, especially when the cloud cover isn't as low. When it's a nice sunny day, you can catch those arrivals onto runway 27 relatively close up. They're just hindered by the UPS building a bit further down the airfield. You can't quite touch can't quite actually touch downs. I definitely see the smoke from the tyres as they do touch down. But a good vantage point for catching those arrivals, and also the departures on runway 27. You can see all the aircraft lining up down that end of the airfield. So those cargo ops in full swing now on that cargo jet 767. That one will be outbound again to Cincinnati this evening. I think that one's scheduled around 20 to 9. Yeah, we've been up there before, Dylan. It's definitely a good vantage point. It's one that's not so well frequented. I think the last time we were up there, it was full of weeds, and they've probably all died off now. It will definitely gives you a good perspective of the airfield from that end anyway. But again, in terms of access to the airfield, you have the full circular walk, the airport walk, so you can park up down at the Amazon end of the airfield and do a full 360 lap, walking the full length of the runway, and around the other side of the airport, if you so wish. I think that's well advertised on the social media pages for East Midlands Airport in particular. But you also have the option to use the or to pay and use the facilities at the aero park as well. So those ops are still quite further down the airfield. Passenger terminal is still quite quiet. The earlier inbound Jet 2 still with its forward doors open. Yeah, definitely be careful when you're making your way up and down that mound to anybody thinking of going that end of the airfield. It's not very accessible for those with any form of disability or find it hard to walk any particular distance or even climb. It is quite a trek up there. Worthwhile, but just be very careful and cautious if you do make your way down there for any reason. So it's not an advertised place, so just be careful not to draw any unwanted attention to yourself as well if you do visit. Tend to stick to the more popular areas that are signposted. They're more readily accessible, for the more like adventurous people like Dylan. Just be very cautious while you make your way up and down there. But particular spots that we have for spotting at this side of the airfield, just off the airport walk, or the airport walk pathway, and towards the racetrack end of the airfield, towards Donington Park, and the Amazon end as well. As we just said a bit earlier, those are the three main spotting spots, particularly that we like anyway. So just have a quick pan across while we've got the opportunity. Let's check on the time. I'll keep an eye on those ground movements further down the DHL apron. So that's inbound service from JFK. Looking like that one's getting ready to reload as well. And the service in from Delhi off a cargo decks look relatively clear from that end, from this angle, sorry. So that one's probably just been finalised before the cargo gets put back on board for its return journey to Brussels this evening, I believe. But other areas of that DHL airport are relatively quiet. It's like we've got another 767 in the background there, and the foreground as well. Just quickly pan across back to the passenger terminal. Apologies for that blur while we pan across. Just that earlier inbound Jet 2 service from Burin Canary is still on the ground there. That one's due to depart in about, I think just under an hour. Maybe a bit less than that. In about 35 minutes time, that one was scheduled to be repositioned back down to Birmingham. For some reason, it looks like the radar was showing like Unia Learjet has landed. That's now changed to being a delayed service, due in at 7:20. So it was flagging up on our screens as landed. Didn't see it, but looks like it's due in the next hour or so. That delayed Maersk service in from Shannon. Now pinging up just after 8:10, arriving into East Midlands this evening. Now there may be a couple of those Unia services in from Cardiff that did land a bit earlier. So it looks like that Learjet did land. It's the service in from Lisbon that's delayed this evening. Jet 2 service in from Tenerife, again slightly delayed. That one is due in just after, or just before 7:45 this evening. But services arriving in the next hour or so. Jet 2 service in from Future Insurer. That one is due in just before 7:05. Jet 2 service from Lanzarote, due in at 8:22. followed by the Jet 2 service in from Tenerife at 8:05. Just in between those scheduled passenger arrivals, we've got the UPS 767 in from Louisville. That's due in around an hour and 15 minutes time. An hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes time. And that's regular DHL 757 service in from Reykjavik, just pinging up on the radar now. That one is has departed about 18 minutes ago and due to arrive with us here at East Midlands in around 2 hours time. So we should hopefully see a bit more action in the next 20 to 30 minutes awaiting those arriving passenger services. And it looks like just on the DHL stand, if we pan across, the 767s, which we saw just starting up there, being pushed back off its stand. That one is due to Brussels this evening. So we'll keep a track of that one as it makes its way down to runway 27. Yeah, Dylan, that's fine if you're brave enough to make it all this way over. Just be very careful. It's can be a bit slippy underfoot. And hello, Polly. Good to see you again this evening. Thank you very much for joining us. So just putting the gloves back on there. Let's take the DHL 767 as it pushes back now. While we wait for the ground teams just to disconnect and see that 767 on its way out. Just a quick thank you to everybody who's joining us this evening in the chats. Thank you to everybody who's watching and joining us down here at East Midlands this evening with live flight action. Becoming regular streamers down here at East Midlands. I think it's probably our 4th or 5th stream now. In the past couple of weeks, just catching all of the night operations down here at the airport. So please feel free to stay with us and join us. Apologies for any bright lights in the next few seconds as the ground ops team just passed by us. And if you know anybody who would be interested in seeing all the action down here at East Midlands this evening, please feel free to share the stream. And if you've not already, do consider subscribing to keep up with all of our action down here at the airports. As I say, we're live flight action, regular streamers from down here at East Midlands. And a very warm welcome to everybody who's joining us this evening. So a slight crosswind at the airport this evening, that windsock just pointing towards our direction. So hopefully we'll keep on with ops on runway 27. Is varying slightly, but we'll keep an eye on it. So next outbound aircraft in front of us, next aircraft to depart is that DHL 767 across to Brussels this evening. That's operated by a 12-year-old airframe delivered in June 2012, so almost 13 years of age. And it looks like this may be a cargo specific design or specific cargo designed 767 opposed to the modernised or retrofitted airframes that we see down here in East Midlands. And apologies for any lines on the screen now, it's just the fence posts in front of us. Trying to keep as stable as we can underfoot here. It's a bit bumpy, so apologies for any jitteriness on the movement there. Trying to keep it as fluid as we can. That 767 progressing down to the threshold of runway 27 there. Surely be a matter or minutes before we see that one depart. Just look off there while we change our footing. There we go. A bit less twisted now. . And just passing by that one at 747 now. So the ops teams are just making their way past again, so apologies for any bright lights on the screen in the next few seconds. Oh. That's DHL service now just holding short of runway 27. Waiting for an inbound arrival. Pick that one up on the stream just yet. Just about to touch down. Oops. And that is the National Police Service Vulcan Air that we were speaking about earlier. Hopefully making way very quickly for that 767 to depart. Passing straight overhead us. Let's see if we can catch it as it departs. Might not be able to pick us to the cloud base. I can't see that one, unfortunately. Straight into the cloud there. Now Vulcan Air just making its way down the taxiway there. looks like an airbus airframe in for painting there. Looking at just disappearing behind the sheds there. So let's have a look back at the ops on the cargo apron this evening, if we can get focused. The 777 looks like the outbound cargo is now being loaded on. A few adjustments. There we go. So the reloading of that 777 is well underway. And just off the stream there, that Jet 2 service here from Future Ventura. See if you can pan around and get a shot of that one as it taxis off. So flight time on that service in from Future Ventura this evening, just shy of 3 hours and 40 minutes. Stick with this one as it makes its way onto its stand. Just disappearing behind that post there. Hopefully it should pop out in a minute. We'll capture the other side here. It turns onto the apron. Facing and away from us this time, it looks like. So I'll stick with that one a minute as we watch that one disembark. apologies for any bad language you may have heard in the background. There's a few late night visitors to the airport just passed by, so apologies if that did get picked up on the stream. Wasn't from us by any means. So sticking with that inbound service from Future Ventura now. So we're just operating on a fixed focal length this evening, so apologies if you're a bit short on that 767 as it departed overhead. But just a bit of a juggle to get the lens in the right position, hence the right focal length as well. Hopefully you heard that one row past us, definitely heard it here, just a couple hundred metres away from us. In that FedEx ATR, just next to the other Jet 2 aircraft parked on its stand. Now the FedEx ATR, another regular visitor down here at East Midlands. So we'll just stick with the Jet 2 for the next few minutes while we watch that one disembark. It's like the buses are in place and those rear stairs just being pushed up now. See if we can get a slightly better focus on that one. So look, can make some finer adjustments. Hopefully bringing that one into a bit more of a focus point or focal point. So while we keep an eye on that, we'll keep a check on that radar. Make sure we don't miss any more of those arriving aircraft. So it looks like the next aircraft to depart is that Jet 2 service. Jet 2 aircraft as it makes its return journey back down to Birmingham this evening, or its repositioning flight back down to Birmingham this evening. That RVL service in from the Isle of Man, just turn it on to final now for runway 27. Future Ventura service now disembarking, and it looks like I can definitely hear some movement in the distance. Looks like that Jet 2 on its way down to Birmingham has just started up. So as soon as that moves, we'll get onto that one. But in the next 35 minutes or so, we should see that inbound service from Tenerife, Jet 2 service in from Tenerife, followed by services in from Lanzarote, and another Jet 2 service, looks like in from Tenerife this evening. 2 Tenerife services pinging up both different aircraft. Very popular route this evening. So as soon as we see any movement on that Jet 2, we'll pan across to it. Looks like that one is now pushing back. So let's just quickly make our way across. And just a short hop back down to Birmingham this evening. And it's repositioning flight. So that temperature dropping ever so slightly now, and the wind ever so slightly picking up as well. Just a slight wind chill in the air. With the Jet 2 aircraft in front of us being relatively light, not fully laden with passengers or bags, that one should be up quite quickly this evening. So while that one is just waiting to depart, I'm going to quickly grab something. Couple hand warmers just to take that chill off. Yeah, that Isle of Man service just passing in front of us there, just snuck in as I was away from the camera. Yeah, it'd be good if we had a bit of a performance takeoff on that one, Polly. Should be up relatively quickly, I think. So that inbound service, Jet 2 service in from Tenerife this evening, just passing overhead Heathrow now. We should see that one in around 25 minutes or so. We'll stick with this jet suit on its way down to Birmingham this evening. Again, just passing by that One Air 747. I think that's been in since yesterday. There's nothing scheduled for that one today. Just about, you may be able just to pick out the previous livery on that one on the tail, the ATC livery. Let's focus on that one there as Jet 2 makes its way down. So definitely ready for a respray at some point in their duration with One Air, but they're very rarely out of service. So I guess taking time for a full respray of one of those aircraft is very time consuming indeed. Definitely a couple of weeks out for something of that size, maybe a bit longer. So turning on to 27 now, it is that Jet 2 737 as it repositions back down to Birmingham. Just hindered by the fence post ever so slightly there and the ops vehicle in front of us. Slightly back off on the focal length if we can. So next aircraft to depart is that Jet 2 service back down to Birmingham. And again, that one is off into the cloud. The windsock just in front of us there. Let's get it fixed back on. There we go. So it's a bit difficult just to manage the pan on the focal length this evening, given it's a bit uneven underfoot. Apologies if we missed any of that. Hopefully I got a good view of that one as it lifted off there from runway 27. Let's get repositioned now. It's tricky as well doing all this in the dark, operating blind underneath us, unfortunately. There we go, back on that Aerologic as it continues being loaded for its outbound journey to Brussels this evening. Yeah, not quite on that one, Polly. So next inbound aircraft is that Unicare in from Lisbon, operated by Learjet 45. That one is just making its way now on its final approach to runway 27. Once that makes its way a bit further down, we'll pan across to that one. Okay, we should just be able to pick that one up. Our bearings. There we go, as it gradually makes its way down. Flight time of just over 2 hours and 10 minutes by the time it touches down here at East Midlands. Just move into position. Sorry for any movement. And that Learjet just vacating runway 27. So let's get set back up again. Not too sure on the operator on that one. It looks like it may be a repatriation flight. There's another Learjet in slightly early on the stream that we just missed, under the same operator code. And Aerologic 777 still continuing to be loaded up there. So a couple of services in next. We've got the Jet 2 service in from Lanzarote. That's around 5 minutes out. And the Jet 2 service in from Tenerife. That's around 10 minutes out. So next inbound aircraft will be the Jet 2 services from Lanzarote and Tenerife. I'll just stick on that Aerologic 777 for the next couple of minutes. And then we'll watch those two Jet 2 services land onto runway 27 here at East Midlands. So thank you very much to everybody who's joining us this evening. If it's your first time joining us here at Live Flight Action, very warm welcome to you. And if it is your first time, do consider subscribing to us to keep up with all of our latest streams and the upcoming streams we have planned for down here at East Midlands. So just turning on to final now, it is that Jet 2 service in from Lanzarote, operated by a 24, almost 25-year-old airframe. And that cold just starting to bite through now. It's getting a little bit cold. So just a couple of minutes out now for that Lanzarote service. Can't quite see it on final yet. As soon as we do, we'll pan across to that one. The light just diminishing ever so slightly. So just a bit of a darker picture of that Aerologic in front of us. It's one of the difficulties of filming in the dark, unfortunately, or streaming in the dark. Massively affected by the amount of light available, so we've got the camera up to a relatively high ISO to bring in as much light as we can, as well as a low aperture, to get rid of some of that foreground obstruction, that being the fence in front of us. just coming into shots. Our final now is that Jet 2 service. So I'll pan around and watch this one down. Oops. Bring that on back in focus. Flight time of around 3 hours and 22 minutes on this service. Yeah, the difference in size on that Learjet is quite noticeable, Polly. Definitely a lot quieter anyway. The inbound service from Lanzarote there, operated by Jet 2. I'll just lock off the tripod there. Sorry about the jitteriness, it's just up ever so cold. Just trying to keep in focus as best we can. So we'll just watch this this Jet 2 onto stand, and we'll pan across and catch that inbound service from Tenerife arriving to East Midlands this evening. Hopefully get a good shot of these two disembarking as well. So next inbound service is that Tenerife service operated by Jet 2, flight time of just shy of 3 hours and 45 minutes by the time of arriving into East Midlands this evening. So while our aircraft prepares to disembark, we'll just pan around quickly and catch that arriving Tenerife service. If we can pan around quickly. There we go, just about touchdown now. using a lot more of the runway there. Full reverse thrusters on touchdown as well. So I'll keep on and watch this jet to onto its stunt. Catching me slightly off guard there as it made its way a bit further down the runway. I was expecting it to turn off a lot sooner. This one turns soon because my arm is not long enough to continue this pan. Here we go. Just about held out there. So I'm just going to park at the far stand there. Is that just lock off on the tripod? Just reposition. I think that's a bit more comfortable now. And the apron quite full this evening now. So with all those Ryanair 737s parked up. Not many scheduled flights for Ryanair today, if any, I believe. So positioned for the next outbound journeys tomorrow. First service in just before the Tenerife arrival. Now disembarking onto the buses there, ready to make their way into the terminal. I'll stick with that one just for a couple of minutes. And the next inbound from Tenerife, making its way up just overhead Northampton now. That one's around 15 minutes out. So hopefully we've been able to give you a bit of a better For a more dynamic perspective of operations at the East Midlands so far this evening, the other end of the airfield where we're normally situated is heavily cargo focused. So we thought we'd just try a bit of a new position further down the airfield and catch some of the inbound passenger services this evening. Just had a quick look across at that inbound Tenerife service. Stairs just being brought up to that forward door now. And that early delayed Maersk service in from Shannon, just looking at the radar, it's taken a very weird route in tonight. I don't know if that's set for any particular reason, but that's gone all the way off the west coast of France and then routed back over towards the UK. So a relatively long flight for what should have been a 40-50 minute hop. I haven't seen that before. But that one is now making its way up towards East Midlands again, just passing overhead Northampton, so should be inbound just after the arriving Jet 2 service from Tenerife. That one's about 9 minutes out now. So, while we just keep focus on that disembarking aircraft, I'm going to catch a quick drink. We're just about managing to keep warm out here tonight. That temperature has now dropped. That cloud level, sorry, cloud burst that was here earlier seems to have disappeared a bit. It's definitely risen anyway. Let's just keep a check on our batteries while we've got a few minutes. So it looks like that Jet 2 service in from Tenerife just about finished disembarking now. Hopefully we'll catch that next inbound Jet 2 as well. Should make its way to a similar part of the airfield. As I say, the stands in front of us are relatively full now. Definitely going to be a busy day tomorrow morning here at East Midlands. The cruiser, you just see the torchlight on the horizontal stabilisers of that 737. Just making the final checks after landing. making sure all those flight surfaces are in full working condition, or visual condition. So that inbound Tenerife service just north of Leicester now, should see that one in around 5 minutes time. And that Maersk 767 around 10 minutes out now, just south of Leicester, that one. Yeah, definitely did, Polly. It's a very extended rollout, that one. Maybe it's a lot more full, more compact than the previous 737 that came in. A lot more heavy, should I say, not a lot more full, a lot heavier than the previous 737. So that temperature's definitely dropped now. You can definitely feel it. The wind's not as bad. But still, that wind chill is it does get through you, or through to you, should I say? Let's have a look at where that jet 2 is now. Oh, sharp cold breath there. Sorry for that. Just passing towards East Link now on its on final into East Midlands. You can just pick that one up in the distance. The camera would struggle, so we'll just keep focused on those 2 Jet 2 aircraft on the ground there. So just a couple of minutes before that Jet 2 service touches down. The Maersk also making its way up towards East Midlands, just north of Leicester now, around about 5 minutes out. We'll pan across to that one as soon as we catch that one on final as well. So thank you very much to everybody who joined us down at East Midlands this evening. Another relatively cold evening down here. Been streaming for just shy of 2.5 hours now, about 2 hours and 25 minutes. Probably another hour or so to go on this evening's stream while we catch the arrivals of those final inbounds this evening. So that Tenerife service just making its way down towards runway 27 now. Flight time of around 3 hours and 40 minutes by the time it touches down this evening. So once that drops another couple of 100 feet, we'll pan across. Fence line is just in the way at the minute. And that Maersk 767 in from Shannon, just about to turn on to final for runway 27 as well. So we'll leave those two Jet 2 aircraft for the time being, and we'll pan across and catch the arriving service in from Tenerife. Making a sharp exit there from runway 27 onto the taxiway. Not as much runway as a previous one. So see where this one ends up this evening. See if it joins its counterparts over there. And that Maersk 767 just turning on to final now. And across to that one as soon as we watch this Jet 2 onto its stand. Just disappearing behind the fence post there. There we go. Pan across to the arriving service in from Shannon this evening. Perhaps we can make our way around the tripod. It's there somewhere. There we go, just hindered by that fence there. Just going to pan a bit further out on this one. Well, it's like we lost the picture, unfortunately, for some reason. Just bear with us while we just unplug and try and get that one back in. Just bear with us. There we go, hopefully back in now. Apologies for that, missed that Maersk 76 inbound there. But there we go, straight in front of us now. Looks like the image dropped out and then the cover fell down on the camera. Disappointed about that one, so apologies. But there we go anyway, that Maersk 767 touching down there from Shannon. At least it's nothing catastrophic. I thought we lost all picture then. So that 767 making its way down to the UPS end of the airfield. Looks like we've got our next departing aircraft straight in front of us. Somewhere out there. There we go. It's like the earlier inbound Learjet. And we'll definitely keep the covers back for this one. Now it's just going to disappear down the down a slight dip in the airfield there. Yeah, so sorry about the image loss on that Maersk. The looks like the cover that we've got protecting the equipment this evening just dropped in front, losing that image as it landed. But there it is, just in front of us. Looks like it's on stand next to the 747. That Learjet just passing behind it there. And the next inbound service is the UPS 767 in from Louisville this evening. That one has just turned on to final just overhead East Leak, so just a couple of minutes out. We'll see if we get the Learjet out first. So thanks everybody for persevering with us tonight in the cold. It's a bit shaky, hands are a bit shaky with the cold, which unfortunately is coming through on the tripod a bit, passing through to the tripod anyway. But we're doing our best to keep warm and keep that image as still as we possibly can. So thanks for sticking with us. Just focusing a bit further down the runway though, as we await that departing Learjet and arriving 767. Just like that Learjet is just holding short. That is back off to Cologne this evening. The inbound UPS service from Louisville, flight time just shy of 6 hours and 45 minutes. That's just passing through 1,000 feet now. So in the next 30 seconds or so, that one should be passing the runway threshold. Inbound UPS 767 there from Louisville this evening. That Learjet 45 just lining up on 27 now. Just waiting for that wake turbulence to clear. tripod set back up. There we go, that's EPS 767 landing just before that departing Learjet. That should make its way down towards that 747. And the Aerologic 777 to Brussels now picking up on the radar as well. Yeah, we're picking up as much light as we can, Sam, at the minute. The ISO is pretty high as it is. Notch it up a tiny bit. But we're in relative darkness where we are. No lights at all this side of the airfield, so all those lights are pretty much in the distance, unfortunately. This is one of the pitfalls of streaming at night, especially with the current gear that we've got anyway. So let's just switch around now and catch that Aerologic as it pushes back and makes its way down to runway 27. Just alter the tripod a bit. Now we're back over on the DHL stand. There we go. Try and get a bit of a closer up on that 777 as it pushes back. So as we see one 777 out, the next one is inbound. DHL service in from Leipzig this evening, just south of Leicester now. It's around 10 minutes out from East Midlands. Thanks for following that one in, Sam. A quick look at the landing gear underneath that 777 and the engines as well as it passes by. Just change our positions, keep up with it. So as that one makes its way down, just going to quickly zoom out on that one so you can get a full shot. I'm just going to quickly grab another battery pack. Try and keep focused on that one as best we can. Hopefully that's what we should do. Right, that battery's ready. Should just have enough power to catch these next two. There's that 777 inbound now from Leipzig. DHL 777 in from Leipzig there. And just panning back so you can catch the Aerologic on its outbound to Brussels this evening. Kick back on that focal length. Rolling out now is that Aerologic 777. Quickly off into the night there. It's the Aerologic 777 outbound to Brussels this evening. Let's have a look, where's that DHL 777 gone to? Should be right there in front of us. Just turning on to stand now. Let's get that one focused up and the tripod fixed. There we go, that 777 in from Leipzig this evening. Just quickly check the radar. So it looks like next services in are the West Atlantic service in from Aberdeen and the Maersk service in from Belfast. Looks like departures, that was the final departure on this evening's stream, the Aerologic 777. But we'll probably stick around for the next 30 minutes or so just to catch that arriving 757 air from Reykjavik. Temperatures really dropped off now, So it's getting bitterly cold. But we'll keep a watch on that 777 in front of us as it starts to unload from its inbound journey over from Leipzig this evening. The ground crew just moving into position. And still a lot of people using the airport trail this evening. So thank you to everybody who's joined us so far this evening from East Midlands. We're live flight action. Now regular streamers from down here at East Midlands. I think this is probably our 4th or 5th stream in the past couple of weeks. Primarily evening streams. We're looking at the schedule to fit in some day streams as well as some weekend streams to broaden the offering to all of our audience. So thank you very much for joining us this evening. We're going to stay for the next half an hour or so, just until that DHL 757 makes its way over to East Midlands from Reykjavik this evening. And that'll be the final arrival on tonight's stream. So to say that temperature has now dropped off. It's bitterly cold. The wind's dropped off, but it's definitely getting a bit frosty out here. So thank you very much for staying with us. Thank you very much for everybody who's joined in the chat so far as well this evening. If you're new to the channel and this is your first time watching us down at East Midlands, thank you very much for joining us. And please do consider subscribing to keep up with all of our streams down here at East Midlands and other streams that we have planned as well in the near future. The channel is open to everybody, not just aviation enthusiasts. So if you do know somebody who may find our streams enjoyable, definitely share it. And definitely join in with the chat as well. So that final service of this evening stream, just passing overhead Preston now, towards Blackburn, routing overhead Manchester, Peak District and into East Midlands. So that one is around 20 minutes out now. Looks like we'll see the West Atlantic service in from Aberdeen just before that. That one just passing south of Matlock now. Making its way down to runway 27. So about 15 minutes time before that West Atlantic service arrives with us this evening, followed by that DHL 757, and that one will be the final arrival on tonight's stream. And after that we're going to go and get warm again. Started off relatively warm, starts with a stream. However, that temperature definitely drops off, especially in these cold winter nights. There's just an ever so slight breeze earlier. However, that's now dropped off as well, so the frost has inevitably started to set in. So the ground crew and crew just making their way down the stairs there, and that upper cargo door now open, which is ready for the various ground equipment to start beginning offloading it. Yeah, thank you, Polly. Thank you for joining us on these last few streams as well. And your contribution to the chats, it really helps support the channel, so thank you very much. Just ping slightly across to have a look at that upper rear cargo door. Tripod decides to move. Oh, the cold definitely setting in now. So that West Atlantic service just about 10 minutes out now. So just unfortunate the cloud base is too low tonight, otherwise we could have tried to track that one in. But around 10 minutes or so until we see that West Atlantic service touching down here at East Midlands. Yeah, cargo operations now in full effect on the DHL apron. The rest of the airfield is relatively quiet this evening. A lot of scheduled passenger services or passenger aircraft, notably all 737 it appears, apart from a Falcon on the apron this evening. All ready for their scheduled departures tomorrow morning. yeah, hopefully we can bring East Midlands on board to, well, make it more apparent to a lot more people. I know there's been a couple of streams down here from various other channels. We would like to make East Midlands more of a regular stream. We've done 2 streams last week, and we did 2 streams the previous week as well. I think this is our 5th stream of the year from down at East Midlands. We did a couple of streams last year as well, just as we were growing the channel, just to see how well we could build some traction, and it went fairly well for us. So in 2025, we've decided to make it a regular feature. So thank you very much to everybody who's joined us so far on this journey to bring East Midlands on board into the streaming world. So that cargo just being offloaded from that 777 in front of us. And the West Atlantic just passing overhead Nottingham now. Around 5 minutes out. The cloud base has got full view of Nottingham from our vantage point here, but that cloud base is just too low to track that 737 in. We'll pan across to it though as soon as it appears on final. And hopefully as the night starts to draw out as well, we'll be able to capture a lot more action. It's a bit difficult in the dark. The cameras tend to keep up with it relatively well, but nevertheless, streaming in daylight is much more preferable. The night stream just gives that extra edge to the atmosphere, I guess. Hopefully as those nights start to draw out and the temperature rises as well, we'll be able to stick it out a bit longer. The DHL service in from Reykjavik, just a few minutes behind the West Atlantic. That one also just passing overhead Matlock now, so around 10 minutes out. Yeah, there aren't many 757s left in service now, are they, Polly? I think this one's either 5 or 6 that are left registered in the UK. Not very many at all. Especially the Jets who retiring all their fleet now. They're replacing them primarily with the A321 Neos. So that West Atlantic 737 just turning on to final now. It's just a fair way out for the camera to pick it up in the distance as soon as it makes its way further towards runway 27. We'll pan across and watch that one in. Atlantic just making its way towards the threshold for runway 27 now. So we'll pan across and catch that one landing in. The West Atlantic 737 landing into East Midlands there. And the DHL 757 just turning onto final in the distance. Apologies for any bright lights in a minute. Ops vehicle just passing by us. It's like they're just telling somebody off parked next to the gate. We'll stick with that West Atlantic for a couple of minutes. Once that 757 makes its way down towards runway 27. Tripod settled. There we go. So that's 757, just 30 seconds or so now from touching down. Just a while off yet to pick it up on camera. Okay, looks about there. Hopefully nice close-up of that 757 as it arrives in from Reykjavik this evening. So we'll watch this one onto its stand. bit wobbly, so we set the tripod down there. That's 757 just making its way around on the DHL apron. The DHL 757 in from Repositioning there, just pulling onto stand. And one final aircraft inbound from Belfast this evening will be the Maersk 767. So we'll just pan around quickly and catch that one for you as that one arrives into East Midlands this evening. So there you go, we managed to get one Maersk successfully caught on tonight's stream. I'll just zoom out on that one there. So it's the Maersk cargo in from Belfast this evening, final aircraft to arrive on tonight's stream. So thank you very much to everybody who's joined us this evening down at East Midlands. I'll just pan across back to that DHL apron as we catch all that cargo action. Thank you very much to everybody who's joined us down at East Midlands this evening. Thank you to everybody who's new to the channel, who's subscribed. If it's your first time watching and you've not already subscribed, please do consider subscribing to keep up with all of our action down here at East Midlands. Thank you to all of our returning subscribers as well, and everybody in the chat. It's most appreciated, and your support is very much needed. So thank you very much for joining us this evening. We're off to go and get warm now and pack up. So thank you very much once again, and we'll see you on the next stream. Thank you very much.